Hey guys, and welcome to another weekly live episode here with OT Genius. Let's wait a little bit for people to log on. And all right, awesome. Hey Jess, how are you? So let's talk a little bit today about some things that I have going on. I first want to be able to announce that I officially do have calls going on. So I put here in the link if you need to book a call with me and we can go over your personal statement or schedule a time to do a mock interview or just talk about different schools that you're applying to and see if we can come up with a game plan together to actually help you focus in your application, and like that you guys can have a better shot of getting in, because as we know that we can't do this alone. So I'll be more than happy to go ahead and do that with you. I already actually have one of you guys is scheduled, already looking to schedule in a time to just talk and go over your application status and grades, GRE, all that good stuff. So go ahead. The link is there if you do need to book a call. And so, yeah, go ahead and do that. I also want to make the announcement that remember that we do have our giveaway still going on, and please invite your friends to join this group, because this is a group that is meant to provide you guys with the resources necessary to be successful, not just trying to get into OT school, but even once you are in the clinic. So yeah, the giveaway is basically that once we do hit the 300 member mark, like that's my goal, is to do a giveaway. I'm giving a $50 dollars cash, giving out a OT Genius mug and OT Genius t-shirt, personal statement review. So those are the things that we are doing. I'm sorry that I have not posted pictures of those, but it is in the works. It's basically going to be like with the logo and whatnot. So if you think the logo is cool, then you'll probably like the shirt and the and whatnot, and the mug. So yeah. So that's it for the announcements. But today I wanted to talk about some of the things that I have encountered while working with you all. And one of the questions that I got that stood out to me was, is it worth it to get into occupational therapy school, and basically all the debt and all the ups and downs that come along with it, and I, for one, definitely, from my perspective and my opinion, can say that it was worth it. And I think, though, that it obviously is very an individual decision and choice about whether it's worth it for you. So I think that it will be worth it if you are a certain type of person. So I think the question that you really need to ask yourself is, do you have what it takes? And that is in regards to a matter of things like, do you even have what it takes to get into occupational therapy school? I know that I exuded the confidence necessary to get into occupational therapy school, and I know that that helped me a lot, and it's one of the reasons why I even got accepted into occupational therapy school with a GPA that was below a 3.0. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there as well, in regards to having a low GPA, and even having that make you think that you don't have what it takes to be a good occupational therapist. And I'm here to tell you that that is definitely not the case. So like as a low GPA person, know that I was basically outworking the competition. So while my GPA may be to some show that I'm not the best student out there, I definitely was putting in a lot more work into other areas. So that meant, you know, I was outperforming the competition in other ways. So my personal statement, I was outperforming them in GRE, and I was outperforming them in hours, and how I did those hours. I can't express how important it is not to just complete your observation hours, but to actually, number one, build a relationship with the person that you are encountering, and then also just to make yourself different from the tons of other people that may have even observed. And you know, there are tons of ways that you can do that. And I know that, for example, one of the things that I did was by, for example, reorganizing and bringing things to the clinic, that, you know, do-it-yourself toys to the pediatric clinic where I was, and that made me stand out and just made me a little bit more different. So it's not just about you doing the observation hours, it's about how do you handle those observation hours while you're there. Are you outworking and outperforming the competition? I also, you know, envisioned myself doing this. I envisioned myself as an occupational therapist. So I think vision is so important, and if you have the vision to do this, and you see that this is what you want, then it more than likely is for you, you know. And you know, the reason why I think that vision is so important is because if you don't envision yourself as an occupational therapist, and that's what you really want, then it's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to put this out there right now on live, you know, for all of social media to see, but I have a vision for this group. I really, really do. My hope and my vision in, I don't know how long, I hope that it, you know, like faster, you know, than later, but I would love to see the group to, over the course of time, for it to reach 3,000, 4,000 members. And the reason why is because I know that one of the reasons why some people are even being pushed away from pursuing an occupational therapy degree is because they feel lost and the debt. And I want to do a scholarship fund, and the only way that this scholarship fund is even going to even be possible is if we grow this group. I have no idea when that's going to happen. I have no idea how it is, you know, to even begin with that. But as we continue and as this group grows, that is my vision, you know. So you know, that vision is just so important, or it will just never happen for you, you know. And I don't, like I said, you know, so that's what I'm hoping for. And if you think that occupational therapy is worth it for you, then please don't let the student debt, you know, turn you away from it. It's still possible to reduce the debt via scholarships, and by using you know, debt techniques, debt reduction techniques that are out there, such as the snowball effect. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And so, yeah, you know, I think that that's what basically allowed me to get in with my low GPA, and I just focused on my strengths. And, you know, by that, I remember that when I was taking the GRE, I focused on the verbal versus the math. It's not to say that I did not study for the math, but I studied a little bit more on the verbal because I knew that that was where my strength was. And instead of getting a mediocre verbal score and a mediocre math score, I knew that I could score in the 80th percentile, 90th percentile. I scored in the 85th to be exact. But yeah, I knew that I could score higher if I put all my focus on my strengths. So yeah, that's what I did, and it's what helped me get in with a low GPA. Now, with that, all of that said, I really I think you'll know if you have what it takes, if you are a certain type of person. Are you the type of person that is compassionate? Are you the type of person that is understanding, a critical thinker? Are you passionate about the profession? Do you have knowledge about what the profession actually is? Or are you still unclear as to what an occupational therapist does? Are you creative? Are you resourceful? Are you invested in your own personal development? If your answer is yes to this list that I am providing you, then I would say that you do have what it takes, because that's what a good occupational therapist basically is. Those are the qualities of a good occupational therapist. A good occupational therapist has to be compassionate, because you're dealing with people that are in their most vulnerable time. You have to be understanding and meet people where they are, because if you're not, then how are you going to be able to help the people that you are claiming you want to help if you don't understand where it is that they're coming from, what their problems are, because you're not actively listening? So being understanding and compassionate is just a prerequisite to being a occupational therapist. Are you a critical thinker, and can you think on your feet? There are many times that as an occupational therapist, you're going to encounter situations that require you to be a little bit more analytical in your approach, because you may, for example, be working with a child with autism in this specific goal, and you work with a different child on that same goal, and it worked for one child and it is not working for the other. So you need to think about how it is that you're going to help that child. So these are just things that I want you to think about. And if you find yourself having these skills, then you have a good shot of being able to say that yes, I am would be a good fit for the profession, and you put that in writing. So my biggest encouragement to you all is to continue to work on yourself, so like that when it comes down to application time and when it comes down to the interviews and the personal statements, you're able to say that you've worked on those things, and that you're able to say that you have the ability to work well in groups, that you have the writing and communication skills necessary to succeed as an occupational therapist and in a rigorous academic program, that you have the leadership skills to take it to the next level. These are the things that I really encourage you to think about as you apply and think about whether you have what it takes. So yeah, I think that if you have all the things that I've listed and have talked about here, you'd make a great occupational therapist. And I'll just basically leave you with that, and I hope that you will continue to work on yourself and continue to find out more about this wonderful profession, and I will see you guys next week.